sure that any squash fans are disappointed that squash is not being included in the
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be involved in trying to get it included in further Olympics? And if it's going to be included, why do you think it is?
Well, there's a lot of money and effort spent for this 2020, and it's such a shame we couldn't make it. Personally, I knew that a lot of us knew that to drop wrestling was, I think, a stupid thing, because at the beginning they were supposed to drop pentathlon, modern pentathlon, and for X reason they dropped wrestling and cut down some criteria. They had to change the criteria, and we knew that wrestling would come back in, and especially a sport like wrestling who's been there since the beginning, so it was a bit stupid. I think we're going to keep trying anyway. That's because sport which becomes an ethic, that's what we need exactly. And if you want to develop the sport, for example, in France, if a sport becomes an ethic, the federation will get much more funds, and then it's easier to develop the sport, to organize events, to promote the sport, to do things. So we really need it. So I think we're going to keep fighting for it.
Any thoughts on the U.S. efforts?
Well, like Greg said, with the funding aspect, getting in the Olympics is really important for us, not only for the exposure of the sport on television and that kind of side of things, but also for the funding aspect in terms of direct funding from the U.S. Olympic Committee, and also being able to go out and seek out sponsorship. There are two little kind of things that I can kind of share with you a little bit. One is in terms of television and marketing. I don't know if you've noticed, like NBC is very involved in the Olympic effort, and you might have noticed in the past year or two, you see Rugby Sevens popping up on there all the time, and that's directly because they got admitted into the 2016 games. Rugby Sevens has never been televised in the U.S. before then, but because it's on the Olympic program, NBC has an interest in it. You know, not necessarily because the viewership numbers are high, but it is under their Olympic umbrella. And then in terms of the direct funding, U.S. Squash as an organization right now is a Pan American Games sport, gets about $150,000 from the U.S. Olympic Committee. If we were to become an Olympic sport, the minimum that a national governing body would get from the U.S. Olympic Committee is $500,000, but it goes up from there. So that's just direct support from the government. That's not including going out and seeking out sponsorships, you know? And I've heard a lot from the people that work at U.S. Squash that when they go and approach a sponsor, whether it's to sponsor junior events, masters events, national team events, any aspect of the sport, the first question that they get asked when they sit down is, are you an Olympic sport? And then as soon as we say no, that's a very quick check against us, you know?
The door is half closed.
Yeah. So becoming an Olympic sport, you know, one for us as athletes, it would be amazing to get to compete, and it would be a dream to be in there, and even for fans to get to watch their favorite players compete on that stage, but also, more importantly, for the general growth and profitability of the game, it's crucial.